Kodai Senga's looked terrific through his first 2 starts. And a shutout going into the 6th inning in his last start in San Francisco.
Well, he was just so good. Couldn't believe how hard he was throwing early in the game. He kept that velocity throughout. The Ghost Fork was the Ghost Fork of old. And boy, he looked as good as I've seen him in a Mets uniform.
Struck out 6 of the first 8 batters in that game. And he'll try to be the stopper today as the Mets have dropped 3 in a row to fall to 500 for the year.
Toyota numbers. His last start against the A's in West Sacramento was the best start he had last season. 7 scoreless.
Gave up just 4 hits and only 2 walks in that game. Lawrence Butler leads off, swings at the first fastball and fouls it straight down, and we're underway. Well, Mark Kotsay is not going to break up a winning formula. The exact same starting lineup that he had last night, brought to you by Hyundai. The A's are without their terrific designated hitter Brent Rooker, their leader. He's on the injured list with an oblique injury. So Carlos Cortez taking his spot, former Met farmhand. There's the fork ball, and Butler flails on it, and it's 0-2. Butler 0 for 4 last night. He's off to a slow start. Last year hit 21 home runs. Stole 22 bases. Tried to lay off the forkball that time and did it successfully. 1-2. John Libka with the call down at third. James Hoy is the crew chief. He's calling balls and strikes today. DJ Rayburn, Sean Barber, and the aforementioned John Libka on the bases.
Yeah.
Butler breaks his bat and dumps it into shallow left field. And the A's have a leadoff hit. It gets behind Benj, and Butler will go to second base.
Oh, boy.
And Carson Benj, who mishandled the ball in left field last night, does so again. And that gets the leadoff man to second base.
And that'll be a base hit, an unfortunate base hit. Perfect pitch up and in. What are you going to do with the
Scary bat there.
saw him off and you
Heading
set
out.
him up? And just a little too casual right there.
Well, it certainly raises a point about Benj, and you worry that his offensive woes might get taken to the field with him as Nick Kurtz takes fastball out of the strike zone for ball 1.
I think Keith called it correctly. You have to know when a guy is sawed off like that, what the ball produces is an unbelievable amount of spin. So you can never play it casually because it'll spin right out of your glove.
2 errors in 2 nights for Benj. Butler at second. Nick Kurtz 0 for 2 with a couple of walks last night. Still looking for his first home run of the season after hitting 36 as a rookie last year. And he cuts and misses at a cutter, and it's 1-1.
He flailed at that one.
He had an unbelievable rookie year last year. Played just 117 games, 36 home runs, an OPS of over 1,000 as a rookie.
Well, in this new age of baseball, we're measuring everything. He's at the top of the barrel as far as bat velocity is concerned.
He's gone 43 at bats into the season without hitting his first home run. He's certainly got some company. Home runs are down around baseball the first 2 weeks. He lifts this one out to right. Playable for Taylor, drifting back to make the catch. Tagging at second is Butler. He goes over to third, so Kurtz advances the runner. Butler at third with 1 out.
In your Genesis Metropolitan defense, you've got Benj out in left field. His 4th start in left field. Taylor, 3rd start in right, and Alvarez behind the plate. I'm sure Torrens will start tomorrow's day game. Infield in. That's part of my defense.
Senga's having an issue.
Is the pitch calm or is it his glove?
I think it's his glove.
What?
It's like something was hanging off his glove. I don't know if it was Velcro. Oh, it's the pitch comp on the glove.
It's the pitch comp.
Bad Velcro.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd think,
Yeah, you know,
after all these years, they would have perfected the Velcro.
You can't get it on Amazon. You have to go straight to Home Depot. Can't take a chance.
I
Oh, there
it goes.
It went flying.
I wouldn't want the pitch com in my hat.
It would bother me.
Yeah?
When would it bother you?
Do you have voices in your head?
That does happen. Infield comes in with Butler at third and 1 out. Shea Langoliers, who loves sitting in this ballpark, takes a fastball inside for ball 1.
Single's very sharp right now, what I've seen. And really on a very lucky base hit.
See Langoliers' numbers against the Mets. One of his 2 home runs against the Mets came against Senga. On a strike to Langoliers, who had 4 career games at Citi Field, is 8 for 15 with a homer and 5 RBIs. Never got to play in the ballpark he was named for. Dad was a big Met fan in Texas.
I bet you he was an '86 Met fan.
I hate to say this, Keith, but it's possible that his dad was too young to have seen you in '86.
Was he that old?
In fact, he was more of a '69 fan because his middle name was Nolan. That was his favorite
There you go.
pitcher who went on to pitch for Texas and Houston.
Dave, check his birthday.
Don't check the father's birthday.
Well, Senga, who's been striking people out at a very fast rate, is in a spot where he needs a strikeout.
Doesn't have to throw a strike.
Tyler Soderstrom on deck. 1 and 2 to Langoliers. Bounces the forkball, and it's 2 and 2.
Did you notice right there, Gary? I just thought of this. Nice block. Right in front of the plate, smothered. When a pitcher shook off 3 pitches or 2 pitches, I would step out and it kind of reshuffled the deck.
Can't do that anymore unless you have a timeout remaining. And Langoliers goes down swinging on the forkball. And Senga's got his first strikeout in a big spot to pin the runner at third.
Well, he knew he didn't have to throw a strike. I mean, the fish were biting here in the dirt, and he just kept feeding it to him.
Boy, the grip so wide. I'm shaking hands with Senga. His hands are not that big, so to have that wide of a separation, unique.
So 2 out, the infield can back up, and here's Tyler Soderstrom, 0 for 4 last night, and he takes a sinker in the dirt for ball 1. Soderstrom off to a slow start, just hitting .200 with no home runs.
Good eye right there.
Lays off the forkball, and it's 2-0.
You gotta really. It's a ghost for it, but it's a splitter that has that much break. Boy, you really got to make him get it up. It's not an easy thing to do.
Baby's first game. Soderstrom grounds one on the right side. Pitcher's going to have to cover, and a perfect throw by Semien right on target to Senga. We like to see that. Side retire.
Oh boy, I held my breath.
We've been there and done that. No problem this time. Kodai Senga working around a hit and an error in that first inning, and all smiles because he was able to cover first base and nothing bad happened.
I bet you they're giving it to him. He was exceedingly sharp in that first frame.
Left-hander Jacob Lopez on the mound for the A's. Francisco Lindor leads off. And Lindor takes the first pitch fastball for a strike. On the starting lineup for the Mets, Luis Robert moves up to the 2-hole. Jorge Polanco back in after missing the last 2. Bo Bichette with a cleanup. So a little shake-up in the batting order, at least in the top, from Carlos Mendoza. So he's just trying to get a little different look.
A lot of grunting already by Jacob Lopez. He doesn't throw that hard. Slider really is his best pitch. He's made 2 starts. He's gotten 25 outs on 183 pitches, so it has been tough for him so far in the first 2.
Well, look at the 10 walks.
And he's walked 5 in each start without getting through the 5th inning. And the breaking ball strikes out Lindor on 3 pitches.
So he's got a
Lindor's rough beginning to the season continues, 1 away.
got a little 3/4 slider on him.
You know, Keith, it's interesting, and no one's going to know what I'm talking about, just you and I. He's got a lot of Bob Nepper to him. He turns his back on. He's kind of got three-quarter arm angle, and with the slider. You mean Gary?
I think.
Well, at least
I think Gary knows.
Sorry.
It means you'll get to him in the 9th inning. Here's Luis Robert.
He's not going to see any 9th inning.
Well, Nepper did.
Nepper did.
He sure did.
Working on a shutout.
Couldn't close the door.
Then he got it.
3-hit shutout through 8.
Luis Robert has 2 home runs against lefties already this year in just 8 at-bats. As you can see, Lopez is not a hard thrower. He'll top out around 91. Finesse pitcher who came up last year, made 17 starts, had a pretty nice rookie season. And Robert trying to lay off the slider and stop the swing in time. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Oh, he used
Got it? Oh, nice
wow.
grab. Oh, and
What a catch.
Just above his child's head.
the guy in the row in front of him, so close. And that went right under the glove of Max Muncy and into left field. And Roberts got a 1-out hit. Sinking line drive, and Muncy couldn't get the glove down.
Well, it was hit hard. It was a bullet, and I just love the way Robert has been swinging the last 2 games. Well, okay. It's over to the little more close to the body. Right through the wickets.
So the Mets have a 1-out base runner. Now Jorge Polanco. Polanco looking for his first hit as a right-hand batter this year. He's gone 0 for 9 from this side.
He's had that Achilles. He's sat out a few games. He's off to one of the guys that are off to a slow start.
He had an MRI on that Achilles earlier this week. It revealed no damage, just some bursitis. So they're treating him medically, and he's trying to play through it. And that slider misses down. 2-0.
He's going to have that all season if you have bursitis. It's really hard to kind of get rid of that over the course of a year when you're playing.
So it might well be that he is going to be limited to DHing, and that the plan to play him at first base might have to be altered. And now Lopez, who has been struggling with his control early in the season, falls behind on Polanco 3-0.
And Gary, we talked earlier before the game that with Soto out and Lindor really struggling and the team struggling offensively, Robert is the guy swinging the bat now. Every 3 days they want to sit him down. Maybe that 4th day they DH him.
Could be.
And keep him in the lineup.
At least if he stays this hot. Robert's been the Mets' best offensive threat with Soto out. They've got to get Lindor going. And nobody knows that better than Francisco. Might be pressing a tad. Ground ball to the right side. Moving to his left, McNeil will go to first with it. I think Jeff had to play at second, but he opted to play safety first against Polanco as Robert moves up.
Oh, well. And that'll get you right to the Mohegan Sun Athletics defense. And McNeil at second. I thought he could have gotten the lead runner. Kurtz at first. Muncy missed that ball off the bat early. So that's sort of your A's defense.
So here's Bichette, put in the cleanup spot today. Robert at second with 2 down, and Bo takes inside. Corner. Strike. Gonna challenge that? Nope. The cleanup spot in the batting order is the position that Bichette has thrived in the most. He's a .312 lifetime hitter batting cleanup, .372 last season in the 4-hole. Ball and a strike.
I mean, in Toronto, mostly batted that cleanup spot behind Vladdy Guerrero Jr. His protection, Guerrero's protection.
Give you a lot of RBI opportunity.
Right.
And Bichette laces one up the middle for a base hit. Robert turns third. He'll come in to score. Bo Bichette cashing one in. A 2-out RBI single when the Mets break in front 1-0 and snap that 17-inning scoreless streak.
Well, McNeil not getting the lead runner costs a run here. And Bichette clutch hitting. Just a fastball right down the pipe. And as a hitter, you take advantage of those mistakes. And you're not going to have any shot at this guy.
It's fun watching him run, isn't it?
Now Mark Vientos, whose bat has cooled down on this homestand, pops one up foul. Kurtz coming over. And right at the railing, he makes the catch. Nicely done. He caught it, took a step down into the dugout, and held on. Side retired, but Bichette's RBI single puts the Mets in front. Kodai Senga staked to a 1-0 lead as he takes the mound for the second. Jacob Wilson will lead off for the A's. Wilson had 3 hits last night, 3 for 4. He's a very aggressive hitter. This whole team is extremely aggressive at the plate.
All of his 3 hits last night were on the pull side, and note that the right side of the infield is playing him to pull Vientos way off the line.
Wilson's 3 hits were almost a carbon copy, weren't they? Kind of shots, line shots over the shortstop's head.
So we've got another pitch comm issue.
Thank goodness.
We're talking about the A's aggressiveness. As a team, they have the 3rd highest swing rate, the 3rd highest chase rate, and the highest first pitch swing rate in the majors. And that's epitomized by Wilson, who swings at over 61% of the pitches he sees. That's the 2nd highest rate. And chases 49% of the pitches out of the strike zone.
But they are hitting 450 on that first pitch when they put the ball in play.
And he makes a lot of contact out of the strike zone. We used to call a bad ball hitter. And he lines one up the middle for his 4th hit in the series.
On the pull side.
So in the 2nd straight inning, the A's have got a leadoff base hit. Well, the A's have not allowed a run in 26 innings before the Mets scratched in the bottom of the 1st, and the Mets hadn't scored a run in 17 innings.
The Mets this homestand have been burned by the big inning of the opponent.
Nice hand for Jeff McNeil. Not quite the standing ovation he got last night. That's what happens when you get 2 hits against your old team.
That's right, and driving a run.
Although it really looked like McNeil made a defensive mistake in that last half inning that might have cost the A's a run.
He did. He had time to get the lead run on the force.
So last night it was a rat, and today it's a raccoon.
There you go. And a squirrel up.
And the breaking ball lined into center field, and McNeil's got a base hit. Wilson to second. He'll stop there. So back-to-back base hits for Wilson and McNeil to start the second.
Well, I thought Wilson, I mean, I hate to be so critical, but Wilson got a bad read on this. He had a shot off the bat to get to 3rd on this.
Again, first pitch hitting.
He doesn't, he just hesitates. He's not going to get that ball. You know where the outfielders are. It could be 1st and 3rd.
Just a high breaking ball from Senga. Certainly not his best offering. So he's in trouble again. Worked out of a jam in the 1st inning, and now Max Muncy, the younger. Let's look for the bunt. Muncy swings and fouls it off. Muncy had a nice night last night, 1 for 4. He did not have the best night of the Max Muncys. The Dodgers' Max Muncy last night hit 3 home runs, including a walk-off in the bottom of the 9th.
That's a day. How many ribeye steaks?
Beat Texas 8-7.
Oh.
Only one other Dodger in all of their history had ever had 3 home runs in a game with a walk-off. Don Demeter in 1959.
Wow.
You know, Muncie's hitting 7th and 8th in that lineup.
Wasn't Don Demeter in that Jim Bunning trade?
Yeah, he would play for the Tigers.
Right.
And Muncy takes a fastball strike beyond the box score. Let's look and see what McNeil was thinking here.
Look at the shortstop, folks. He's at the bat. It's an easy force. And he opted out. Jeff's such a smart player. You don't see that him make that kind of a mental error.
Muncy chases the fork ball for strike 3. And Senga's got his second strikeout, the first out of the inning.
Alvarez again on the block. And today, right now with a theme, as Gary mentioned, this team chases. That ghost fork in the dirt. You're going to see a lot of it today, and they've been fishing.
Well, if you're going to catch Senga, you better be in good blocking position.
Yeah, it's like catching a knuckleballer.
Here's Carlos Cortez, who's DHing in the absence of Brett Rooker. Cortez 1 for 4 last night. Started his career in the Mets farm system. And he takes a cutter down for ball 1. Cortez starting his 6th game. He had a nice year when they called him up last year. 42 games. He had 309. And he's off to a fast start this year.
Nice block again.
My last thought on McNeil, do you think he didn't know how many outs there were?
No, he kind of looked at the shorts.
Yeah, he kind of.
Okay. I mean, there's such a patience now to Alvarez when he blocks the ball in the dirt.
Yes, he's really letting the ball come to him and using his body. It's noticeable.
And that sweeper just missed outside. Now it's 3-0 to Cortez. Denzel Clark, the number 9 hitter, is on deck.
Might let him swing here with the 9th hitter up, as Gary said.
I wouldn't. Look for a walk here.
Wilson at second, McNeil at first. And he takes a strike.
Just threw a little sinker, trying to get him to roll over.
Like a BP fastball.
And it's a smart pitch, 3-0, because the hitter's going to look 3-0 for something middle in the jerk.
That's looking at turn 2 and get Senga out of this inning. And Cortez fouls off the fastball, 3-2. Senga's fastball velocity has been more 95, 96 early in this game. His fastball velocity for the season for his first 2 starts is up a solid 2 miles an hour from last year.
95's plenty with the other secondary pitches that he has.
He averaged 96.7 on that fastball through his first 2 starts. There's your high-speed pitching brought to you by Spectrum. You see the difference in that fastball from last year to this. 3-2 to Cortez with 1 out. And he gets him to roll over on the forkball and stays at 3-2.
Good job by Cortez getting a bat on that ball.
I think with a pitcher like Senga, a left-hand hitter, and with that ghost fork, it's such an effective pitch. If I was up at the plate, I would have to move 3 inches closer to the plate to cover more outside corner.
When a hitter fouls off a good split finger, it makes me feel he's vulnerable to the fastball inside.
Another fork ball, and again Cortez able to foul it off.
See, he's in a situation here he doesn't want to walk. He's got to throw the ghost fork for a strike. I guarantee if it was 2-2, he would throw it in the dirt and try to get a fish. Big steelhead.
We were talking about the Marlins. They lost today. 8th pitch of the at-bat coming to Cortez. And he just got a piece of another fork ball. It's quite an at-bat for Cortez. He spent a half-dozen years in the Mets farm system before they let him walk as a minor league free agent. A's snapped him up, and they're getting value out of him. He's now 28 years old.
JT Ginn last night, McNeil, Cortez.
You won't see Luis Severino in this series. And that's ball 4, and that's going to load the bases.
That's a heck of an at-bat.
This to me would be a good time to visit It's a long inning. He's thrown a lot of pitches. That was a long at bat. Yeah, there we go. It's a good visit. Just to kind of calm down, regroup, reboot. How are you going to get out of this inning with a 9th hitter up?
So Senga's put himself in the soup. A couple of hits and a walk. Bases loaded, 1 out. With the Mets up 1-0 in the second. On Saturday, April 25th, the first 18,000 fans at the Mets-Rockies game will get a Mr. Met at the Unisphere light-up bobblehead. For tickets, go to Mets.com/tickets. That's like an old school Mr. Met right there with the smaller head. Well, one thing we've learned about Kodai Senga over the last few years is when you put him in a spot where he's up against the wall, it's usually at his best. For his career with the bases loaded, opponents are 3 for 21 with no walks. Denzel Clark drove in a couple of runs last night to put the game away for the A's late, and he fouls off a first pitch fastball. They got that one up to 97. 0-1.
Playing in at the corners. Vientos is playing on the cut of the grass. And Bichette back, so everybody else is back.
A base hit was a hard hit ball up the middle.
Clark is a threat to bunt. We were talking about it yesterday, how the bunt seems to be coming back in the game. Last night, the Washington Nationals used 3 bunts in the top of the 9th. A sacrifice and 2 safety squeezes to win their game against Milwaukee. And Clark takes a fastball for a strike. Got that one up to 98, the hardest pitch he's thrown so far today. In the first inning, with a runner at third and 1 out, Senga picked up his first strikeout, fanning Langoliers. Now again, they have a runner at third with 1 out, looking for the strikeout on Clark.
Another fastball.
Clark able to lay off 2-2.
You can't really look for the ghost fork if you're a hitter.
No.
It's too good of a pitch.
No,
if he makes it, you're not going to hit it anyway.
Get a fastball jump on it. That's with anybody with a great secondary pitch.
20 pitches already in this inning for Senga. 2-2 to Clark, and he just got a piece of the forkball. So just like Cortez, he's able to waste away that ghost fork and stay in the at bat.
It's frustrating for a guy like Senga, who usually it's a swing and miss on that pitch.
Bounce one. Missed.
And the fastball is down, and now it's 3-2. We said Senga's never walked a batter in the big leagues with the bases loaded. He's right on the edge of it here.
Just missed.
3-2 to the number 9 hitter Clark with Butler on deck. And he takes it low, ball 4, and that forces in the tying run.
Well, that is unusual.
So Senga walks the 8 and 9 batters, and it forces in Wilson, and it's 1-1.
Well, that is something you won't see too often.
This is an aggressive team that chases, and they were able to finagle 2 walks there.
Now Lawrence Butler had a broken bat single to lead off the game, and he takes first pitch sweeper for a strike, 0-1. Back-to-back hits by Wilson and McNeil, and then after Muncy struck out, back-to-back walks to Cortez and Clark to force in a run. Bases remain loaded. And Butler fouls off the forkball, and it's 0-2. A hard-working inning for Senga, already 25 pitches deep, and still only 1 out.
Might try the high fastball.
And Butler hits one on the ground to his right Semien, and he gets to the bag in time, but can't turn a double play as a run comes home, and it's 2-1 Sacramento.
Well, there you go, where Lindor can't get there when you're not playing that double play depth, and that'll come and bite you. It'll come and bite you. Actually, Lindor should have gone to the bag. He's on the right side of the infield.
He was thinking Semien might not get the ball, so he was going for the ball.
That was Semien's ball all the way, Gare. Wow. Okay. So these 4 o'clock games, 1 o'clock games are always of interest.
So 2 out runners at the corners, 2 runs are in. And now Nick Kurtz will fly out to right his first time up.
Kurtz had a good swing his first time up.
And Alvarez again fussing with the pitch com.
You know, that ground ball right there to Semien, even if Lindor gets the bag, I don't think they double up Butler. It wasn't hit hard enough. But nonetheless, what's going on?
I think that the A's dugout is arguing for a pitch clock violation because there have been so many instances of this pitch com being an issue for the Mets early in the game. And the home plate umpire James Hoy said no. And forkball misses away, and it's 1-0 to Kurtz.
If you're going to come inside to Kurtz, you got to come up and in. Don't go down and in.
Cortez at third. Butler at first. And it's popped up into left field. Benji's toward the line and puts it away to retire the side. But Senga gives up a pair, and the A's lead 2-1 in the second. We go to the bottom of the second. Mets find themselves behind after holding a brief lead. Home plate umpire James Hoy coming over to Carlos Mendoza and basically says, make sure your pitch comp's working.
I don't want to hear it from the A's anymore.
Francisco Alvarez moved up to number 6 in the order today. Takes a strike from Jacob Lopez. Alvarez has a 6-game hitting streak going. It's only 1 for 10 though against lefties so far this year. The Mets as a team are 0-3 when a left-hander starts against them. And hitting just .227 as a team against left-handers.
The shadows are starting to creep on the field. They're on the field actually, and starting to be an advantage for the pitcher. Not quite out there enough yet.
Alvarez, Benj, and Semien for the Mets in the second. And Alvarez drills one to left, but overcomes Soderstrom to make the grab. High breaking ball, and Alvarez hit a bullet. But Soderstrom was a good outfielder. We never played there before last year. Makes the play.
Well, Lopez is almost a side armor, like Minaya. So his breaking ball's flat. And he has to be really careful against right-hand hitters, because if he leaves it out over the middle, it's a horizontal break, and he's going to get in trouble like that pitch right there.
By the way, that was 110 miles an hour off the bat of Alvarez. 1 out. Now Carson Bench left in the lineup against the lefty today, which I thought was interesting. Choice between leaving Benj in or Beatty, and he chose to leave Benj in the lineup. Benj 0 for 7 against lefties so far. Had a base hit last night, his last time up.
Yeah, down the left field line, which is a good sign.
We'll see if he can do to this lefty what he was doing all spring, taking that left-hander to left field.
They got the third baseman in almost at the cut of the grass. I don't think he's going to be a bunning here. Just move him back.
Pitcher in sunlight, hitter in shadow, and Benj fouls off the fastball. 1-2.
So the A's have 2 lefties in their rotation, Jeffrey Springs and Jacob Lopez, that came over from Tampa Bay.
Came over in the same deal. And a half swing. Benj went around for strike 3. Langoliers makes the toss to first. And that's the second strikeout for Lopez. 2 away in the second.
No, this guy Lopez is tough on left-handers when he's a skinny side armor. It's tough. It's not it's a chore coming to the ballpark. You know, you got a tough. Well, in my day, you could possibly have a tough 4 at bats against a side armor.
So now Marcus Semien whose bat has cooled on this homestand, just 1 for 16 in the 4 games. A tremendous series in San Francisco, but it has not translated into success in Flushing, and his batting average back under 200. But while Semien is just 6 for 40 against right-handers, he's 4 for 11 against lefties. Dropped to number 7 in the order today. And he flies one deep down the left field line, and that'll hook and go foul. See, the Phillies dropped Alec Bohm to 8th in the order today. It's off to such a slow start. Phillies won that game. They got a 3-run homer from Schwarber and beat the Diamondbacks 4-3.
The Mets really took one away from him. And when the Mets took the rug out from under him and got Bichette.
Well, if they had gotten Bichette, they were going to play him at second base, I'm assuming.
Right.
Bohm would have stuck around.
Simeon's got the shortest stroke, most compact stroke in the lineup.
It's the breaking ball and dribbles one back to Lopez. Low throw, and Kurtz with a nice job to dig it out. And that retires the side. Pitchers throwing to base is always an adventure, but Kurtz able to come up with the grab. Big Amish down into the dirt.
SNY is
A's. Shane Langoliers leads off against Kodai Senga, who was coaxed into 28 pitches into that second inning. He's got a run on a bases loaded walk and on the fielder's choice. Langoliers struck out his first time up. So we believe that Shea's dad was born in 1969. So he would have been old enough to enjoy the last Mets World Championship.
I knew it.
It's a wonder that he didn't name his son Keith. Son Mookie. Whatever. There you go. Speaking of which, we're not going to see Mookie Betts when we go to L.A. He's on the injured list.
Ribcage, I think.
The Dodgers seem to always have the longest injured list, but the best record. They just have all the players.
They have all the players.
10-3 to start the year after that walk-off win last night. The only negative in that win for the Dodgers last night is that Edwin Diaz suffered his first blown save for L.A. You mentioned Max Muncy, 3 home runs, including a walk-off. He moved into 3rd place in L.A. Dodger history in home runs. That's over the bag and past Bichette down the line. Langoliers heads for second, and he'll make it easily with a leadoff double.
Oh, the Dodgers. The A's are impressing me with the contact they're making. And there's a splitter right there, Ron, that he went out and got.
Langoliers just does not take a bad at bat against the Mets.
Something about flushing water.
All right.
Now 9 for 17 in this ballpark. So Senga having to deal with traffic for a 3rd straight inning. Tyler Soderstrom grounded out. Langoliers, the runner at second base, according to StatCast, is the fastest runner in the A's lineup.
Okay.
Now, we've seen catchers who could run before. I mean, JT Realmuto now obviously is
John Stearns,
one of those guys, John Wathan. I mean, but to be the fastest guy on your team, has that ever happened? Maybe Little League.
Kendall was pretty fast, right?
Jason Kendall, but played on the same team as Barry Bonds.
That's an L.
2-1 to Soderstrom. This is a real slog for Senga, and Alvarez mishandling that ball. Now that moves Langoliers to third.
That is a pass ball.
When I first saw that, I thought it went right through the glove. But no,
he just missed.
to
Oh, you
snatch
know
it.
what? Too much trying to frame, and he left the glove up too quick.
Alvarez has led the league in pass balls a couple of times, and he has had too many today this year as well. There's a fly ball out to right, hit pretty well. Taylor back to the warning track, back at the wall, and it's out of here. Tyler Soderstrom with a 2-run homer to give the A's a 4-1 lead. First home run of the year for Soderstrom. First home run Senga's allowed this season. And it's now 4-1 A's.
Kind of a bad breaking ball.
Yeah.
Right? Some kind of bad cutter. Or...
That sweeper has, bedeviled Senga in this game.
I think it's more of a curve, Garrett, that he didn't get on top of. To me, I just think that I think that at bat that Cortez had, was it Cortez that hit the long at bat and walked? I think it frustrated Senga, and he just got out of rhythm. He wasn't been the same pitcher since that at bat. I could be wrong.
Off the end of the bat, past the mound. Semien has to barehand and can't make the play, and Wilson's safe at first. Just a squirming ground ball that found its way under Senga. And Semien trying to rush it, could not pick it up cleanly, and Wilson's got his second hit of the day and his 5th in this series.
Well, he had the barehand, and I don't think he would have had him even if he barehanded.
So it's all going wrong for Senga this afternoon. He was able to work out a first inning trouble, but couldn't negotiate a bases loaded jam in the second, gave up a couple. And now 3 straight hits to start the third. Tyler Soderstrom, first home run the Mets have given up in their last 8 games.
Let's see, it is right down the middle, and it was a hanger up. And the key to the hanging breaking ball, any breaking ball, is just to don't get excited and rush out after it. Let it just come into your bat.
So the A's now with 4 runs on 6 hits. Wilson at first with nobody out, and Jeff McNeil up for the second time. McNeil had a base hit and scored a run in the second. He takes the first pitch forkball out of the strike zone for ball 1. Just seems like he's not commanding anything particularly well right now.
So good in the first inning, RJ.
Well, yeah, but he had to go well in the first inning, right? He had to go to that ghost fork a couple of times to get out of that inning. And I think what it's done, Keith, is he's never established any pitch, but especially his fastball. I mean, even for his great ghost fork, it all really comes off his fastball.
Yes.
Once he establishes that, and they know he's pouring in strikes, that's when they get aggressive and try to get to the fastball, and the ghost fork is a swing and miss pitch.
Well, he seems to have gotten away from his fastball, which was really his bread and butter the first 2 starts. Grounded underneath Vientos, who deflected it just a bit, and that slowed it down for Semien to pick it up. But that's 4 straight hits for the A's to start this third inning. And McNeil's 2 for 2.
That would have been first and third. On his toes. Well done, Mark.
I was just thinking out loud, guys. I don't know what you guys think about it, but unbelievable spring training. pumped up his velo to a point that he's never been before, and he comes into a game, his third start now, and there is no that velo's not there. He's thrown two fastballs at 98, but mostly he's been around 94, 95.
Now Max Muncy, who struck out his first time up. Wilson at second, McNeil at first, still nobody out.
Starting to tee off here a little bit.
We're going to get some action now in the Mets bullpen. And the Mets made the move today to activate Craig Kimbrell, and they sent Richard Lovelady out, and that's the guy who's been wearing it in the games where the Mets are behind.
Well, they're taking some cuts.
That fastball was only 93 miles an hour, so
he's kind of
velocity is not
running out
been.
of quarter tank right now.
Oscar Brosbon up in the Mets bullpen. "28 pitches in the second inning, 20 already in this inning. And that forkball just spitting on 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Like they know it's coming.
Two to Muncy, and he misses off the plate with a fastball.
Oh boy, you can see the frustration right now.
The pitch count is building, and the outs are not. 3-2. Carlos Cortez on deck, and Muncy takes strike 3 call.
Oh,
Muncy's going to challenge the call.
He's going to lose.
Batter sound on the strike.
You went to your hat.
And it is a strike. So they lost
The
the challenge.
Athletics have 1 challenge remaining.
ABS powered by T-Mobile. Third strikeout for Senga. Second time he's gotten Muncy, and so he finally has the first out in the third.
Can't do that early in the game.
Can't do that early. It's a selfish challenge. And also, you shouldn't be taking a fastball 3-2 that close, right?
Yeah, agreed.
It felt like the way he was moving his body toward the dugout that he really was trying to take it back.
I think he was too.
It's like, oh, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, he was mad at himself for taking the fastball that close and was hoping for a reprieve from the governor. That's what he was looking for.
Well, if he'd ever been a fan on Sunday mornings of roller derby, he would have known that if you want to cut off the jam, you got to have both hands to the waist.
That's right. Don't go to the helmet.
The Bay Area Bombers.
Charlie O'Connell. Mike Gannon, the fastest man on skates.
No, he did not. Good block again. That's a tough one right there.
Did I mention Joni Weston?
Joni Weston.
My mother.
She had the blonde hair, right?
My mother got thrown out of a roller derby match.
No.
Threw her shoe onto the.
No.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Was that part of the script?
No.
I remember
off script.
Joni Weston was a bruiser.
3-1 now to Cortez. Well, Senga's faced 17 batters. This is his 17th. He's only thrown 5 first pitch strikes. That'll give you an idea how his day has gone. 32 balls, 39 strikes. Not a good ratio. And now Cortez, who walked his first time up, ahead of the count 3-1. And he lofts one out to right center. That's hit well. Back goes Taylor, takes a look, and that's gone.
Wow.
A 3-run homer for Carlos Cortez, his first home run of the year. And the A's have buried Kodai Senga. It's now 7-1 in the third inning. Well, a 5-run inning for the A's, 2-run homer by Soderstrom, and now a 3-run homer for the former Met farmhand Cortez.
High fastball. Up, away. Level swing. Look at that follow through.
Yeah, that's going to be the last pitch that Kodai Senga throws. As Jeff McNeil celebrates on his way around the bases. Bad day for Senga. Bad day so far for the Mets. It's 7-1 A's in the third inning. Oscar Brazaban is coming into the game. Call to the bullpen brought to you by Nissan. Shop NissanUSA.com. Well, the A's have put a hurting on the Mets. Kodai Senga knocked out after 2 1/3. Gave up 7 runs for the first time in his career. Gave up a 3-run homer for the first time in 55 starts in the big leagues. And Oscar Brazaban will try to pick up the pieces. Brazaban hasn't pitched since Tuesday. Denzel Clark takes his first fastball for a strike. Clark drove in the first A's run with a bases loaded walk in the second. He's added another run in that inning and 5 runs on 5 hits in the third. That's pretty amazing. Senga had gone 54 starts in the big leagues without giving up a 3-run homer or a grand slam. It's the most runs he's allowed in any innings in any start. Backhand play by Bichette. The high throw, and Vientos stays on the bag. And Clark retired 1-2 away.
I think we've seen that play enough that Bo Bichette likes that play. That coming in, backhand, on the run throw.
I don't know, that in between hop, that's not an easy play.
Tough. The only reason I say that is because that's a very awkward move to it. You don't probably see anyone else do that.
So 2 out. Now Lawrence Butler, the 8th man up in the inning. This fielder's choice drove in the go-ahead run in the third. In the second. Now he's getting a third at bat in the third inning. That's when you're having a nice day. Senga went 2 1/3, 7 runs, 8 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, 2 home runs, 72 pitches. And as happens this time of year, because of small sample sizes, his ERA goes from 3.09 to 7.07. Brazaban gets him with a fastball. Butler's out on strikes. Inning over, but 5 runs score for the A's, and the Mets have a big hole to climb out of. Well, maybe it would be a good day to be riding on the ferry.
Just don't jump off. That's all. The water's still cold.
You know, you can go back and forth as much as you want. It's free.
That's right.
Free. How many things in this world are free anymore? Darwin Taylor leads off. Jacob Lopez living large.
I mean,
he's got a 7-1 lead in the third inning.
When you're in this position, when you're down like this and it's early in the game, it's like, guys, peck away. Pitchers hold them and peck away. Just get a little bit run here, run there, get back in the game. But the pitchers have got to hold it.
28-year-old Jacob Lopez from College of the Canyons in California. And Taylor lofts one into shallow center. That's going to fall for a base hit. Little wedge off the bat of Taylor for the Mets' 3rd hit of the day. And the Mets have a leadoff man on in the 3rd. So now Lindor, who struck out on 3 pitches in the first inning. Francisco is 56 at bats, and now this is the 15th game of the season, and he still doesn't have an RBI. It's the longest drought of his career at any point in the season. 15 games or 14 games without an RBI. And it's been a few little things that have gone awry for Lindor as well. Forgetting how many outs there were in St. Louis. Throwing flat-footed on potential double play that cost the Mets a run yesterday. Not go to the bag on what could have been a double play in this game. It's just seemed a little off.
He's got some company in that no RBI club, though. Jack Caglione, KC, is at 47 at bats. Jeremy Pena for the Astros had 43, and Ozuna, who was brought to Pittsburgh to be their RBI guy, 39 at bats, no RBI.
Wow. The Pirates are thriving without Ozuna's bat. Beat the Cubs yesterday to go to 8-5. Slider wrapped around the plate. It's 2-1.
We always talk about Lindor's tough starts. Julio Rodriguez for the Seattle Mariners has not had an extra base hit in 61 at-bats.
Lindor pops one up into shallow center. And in comes the right fielder Butler into right center. On away. What's odd to me about Lindor at the plate is that early in the season he was being very selective. Drew 10 walks in the first 8 games. But from the point that Soto got hurt, this is now the 7th game without Soto, he hasn't had a single walk. And I don't know if that's psychological or something that he thinks about, but it is odd.
Well, for a leadoff hitter, too, you're not in that 4-hole where you're supposed to drive in runs. You know, you're kind of setting things up. You know, even Gary, when he was walking, I felt that he was being patient, but he still wasn't comfortable at the plate.
Yeah, Gary, you make an interesting point, right? With Soto behind you, how can you walk with Soto behind you? Wouldn't you go after the hitter that's in front of Soto?
You would think, right? Luis Roberts singled to left and scored the Mets run. That came in the opening inning. Mets had a 1-0 lead. The changeup misses away. 2 balls and a strike. I mean, Lindor has been such a good run producer, even out of that leadoff spot. He drove in 86 runs last year. And I wonder if you guys have any sense of this. You know, he broke the hamate bone right at the beginning of spring training and had the surgery. And people say, well, you lose a little power after the hamate bone is broken. But I don't know if it would affect you in other ways.
Well, I talked with him in spring, Gare. And he told me that he's had it for like a few years, and he just didn't realize it. He just felt something funny in his wrist. But look at the numbers he had the last 2 years.
Well, we know he's played with a lot of ailments, whether it's broken toe, broken finger, the back problems he had 2 years ago. Still able to produce with that and play every day.
Well, I think, you know, it meant a lot to him to be ready for opening day. So there was a lot of catching up to do to be ready for opening day.
He prides himself on playing every day.
Yes, he does. So
3-2, 1 out. Taylor at first, not going, and it's outside ball 4, so the Mets have something working here in the 3rd. Roberts on base for the 2nd time.
First walk issued by Lopez, who came into the game with, what, 10 walks and 2 starts.
yeah, remember, he might be able to help you out in your quest to come back in this game. So.
Right.
Just one more note about the Lindor hamate. Corbin Carroll had the same injury at the same time, and he got off to a fantastic start. So, I mean, there's just no telling. It's just he seems a little off in all facets of his game. So now 2 aboard for Polanco, and he takes a slider for a strike. Polanco grounded out to second base his first time up after missing the last couple of days. Good speed on the bases. Taylor at second, Robert at first. And it's hit off the fist of pop up in foul ground from Muncy, and he can't quite get there. It lands on the dugout roof. Polanco's still looking for his first hit this year as a right-hand batter. He's gone 0 for 10 so far. Jacob Lopez ahead of the count 0-2. And that's poked the other way. Kurtz fields, goes to second, gets the out there. Nobody covering at first.
The pitcher didn't get over, RJ.
So it's a 3-6 fielder's choice for the second out.
First, if Kurtz could have got back to the bag.
It's a pretty good pick by Kurtz. He was kind of in between.
Boy, you got to turn that two right there. That ball's hit hard enough. You got Polanco with the Achilles, and the pitcher didn't get over. It took me a long time to realize that once I threw the ball, it's out of my hand. I can't do anything anymore. So once I got rid of it, run back to the bag. And it took me around 6 years to realize that.
Here's Bichette, who drove in the Met run in the first inning. And do you concentrate on that even more when you have a lefty on the mound, because it takes them a little longer to get to first base?
It's anybody that want to get rid of that ball. You want to get two. It's the pitcher's best friend, and it's also the team's best friend.
Now Lopez falls behind Bichette, 2-0. Bichette picked up a 2-out RBI hit in the first. Stop action shot of Luis Robert running. We can freeze him anytime we want. Inside, the full 3-0 count to Bichette with Vientos on deck.
You don't turn that double play, you're in the dugout, and then the inning's over. Now he's got to work.
Ronnie mentioned it. This is a pitcher who can walk some people. He'll walk here, you get Vientos up, a chance to get right back in the game. And Bichette takes a borderline strike, 3-1.
He's got that hole on the right side of the infield with Kurtz holding the runner on that he loves.
And that's away ball 4, and that loads him up. So Lopez, who walked 5 in each of his first 2 starts, has walked 2 in this inning after being handed the huge lead.
Tried to backdoor him there, and it just missed.
So now the base is loaded with 2 out for Vientos.
One big swing, and the Mets are back in this thing.
Scott Emerson out there to talk to his pitcher.
Emerson, the pitching coach for the A's.
Just one knock, and you're back in this game. Just one knock. That's all you need. I mean, you take an extra base hit, of course, but just one base hit here, and you're back in the game.
Vientos has 1 grand slam in his career. He hit it last season against Dylan Cease in San Diego. Mark was red hot on the last road trip, but he's 0 for 11 on this homestand after fouling out his first time up today. That's down 7-1, but they've got the bases loaded in the third. And Vientos bloops one into shallow left, coming on is Soderstrom, and he makes the catch to retire the side. Let's leave him loaded in the third. The A's lead it 7-1 after 3. Nice and greasy. Right off the grill.
Oh my
Look
God.
at that. I mean, that's a load of peppers and onions.
Oh, good Lord. Look at that.
It's delicious. It's delicious, though, Keith. Nick Kurtz takes outside from Huáscar Brazoban, who came in to get the final 2 outs in the third after Kodai Senga got routed. Kurtz has been up twice, flied out both times. And Brazoban misses down. 2-0. Senga went 2 1/3, allowed a career-high 7 runs on 8 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. And Kurtz takes a high strike, 2-1. Shea Langoliers on deck, and then Tyler Soderstrom for the A's in the 4th. A's having themselves quite a road trip. Beat the Yankees 2 out of 3, shut them out in the last game of that series on Thursday. Came here and shut out the Mets last night. And now they're up 7-1 in the 4th inning today. This is a team that's made considerable progress the last few years. As recently as 2023, they won only 50 games. Last year, they won 76. There's the good changeup by Brazoban. He gets Kurtz Second strikeout for Brazoban, and we check in with Steve Gelb. Steve?
You know, Gary, I really loved your positive spin with the greasy sausage and pepper, so I figured, you know, let's take it in a positive direction here and give you another one that people aren't talking too much about right now, but that's Bo Bichette's defense at third base, which quietly has actually been pretty decent since the start of the year. We saw in that last inning a really nice backhanded play coming in on the ball, and I was talking to Bichette about the biggest differences between shortstop and third base, and he said really it's the fact that at shortstop you have some time to move your feet and get yourself in position for the correct hop, the hop you want. Whereas at third base, it's much more reactionary, just like we saw with that backhand. You don't have time to move your feet. You just have to pick the ball wherever it comes to you. And he actually said that was something that he talked a lot about with David Wright this spring. And David actually pointed out that the other thing that's different is you have to go back on the ball sometimes, whereas at shortstop, that's not something you're doing very often. That doesn't come naturally. So that's something that David helped with in terms of the defense side on Bo Bichette. He also, and this may surprise you, was just very positive with Bo Bichette. Said, you're a really good player. Don't overthink it. And here's my phone number. If there's ever anything you need, call me. And I told Bo, it doesn't sound like David Wright at all. To be overwhelmingly positive and helping people.
Well, that's a good point, Steve, about third basemen can going back. And when you go back, you're going back for the long hop. You never go back for the short hop. You go in for the short hop. You go back for the long hop.
Langoliers laces one and caught by Lindor for the second out. Well, Bichette's got a pair of sunglasses on his hat. Perhaps Steve would like to borrow them. Looking right into the sun for that report.
I'm good. You know, I just didn't want to be rude for my hit. Sun's right over here.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's the way you should go.
Joe Cool.
I mean, we're going to L.A. Tomorrow. You got to get ready to be in the Hollywood mode.
That's right. You're like Snoopy with the sunglasses on.
That's not what I was going for.
I think he was trying to go for East Coast Kennedy look there.
Soderstrom finds the hole for his second hit of the day. First hit given up by Brazoban after he retired 4 straight.
So, guys, I was mentioning before Soderstrom got off to such a great start last year. Dave Fried got the numbers. His first 20 games last year, he had 325 with 9 home runs and 19 RBI.
That was before Nick Kurtz got called up, and they saw Soderstrom basically as a placeholder, and they had no intention of keeping him around once Kurtz was ready. But Soderstrom got off to such a great start that they had to find a spot for him. So they moved him to left field, and he became a really good left fielder.
And then they signed him to a long-term contract.
Got a 5-year, $35 million deal to get him past the first year of free agency. 2-0 to Jacob Wilson, who's 2 for 2 today, 5 for 6 in this series. This is what Wilson was doing for the first 2/3 of last season. Aggressively getting base hit after base hit. Things change up for a strike, 2-1. Instead, Jack was a big league shortstop with the Pirates. Jacob grew up in Los Angeles. Went to Grand Canyon University. First round draft pick by the A's, and he has come quickly.
His dad was a good player. I mean, gritty, hard-nosed, hustling.
Grounded to third. Bichette on the backhand. Throw across the diamond on target. Side retired. A hit and 1 left. Still 7-1 A's. Now, the one thing our group is asked the most this time of year is, what'd you do in the offseason? I mean, we're off for a long time. So, you know, we got time to engage in all sorts of different pursuits.
Well, I wasn't in a race car.
Even our truck guys. So we figured we'd give you some images from our offseason.
Gary, did you go to the moon?
No, but I did go to Australia, which is almost as far, to meet my grandson Otis.
Oh, Otis.
What a cutie.
Born
Otis the
December
trunk.
1st. That was after my cataract surgery. That's Nurse Dawn at Greenwich Hospital.
Wow, that's Cash with Otani at the dinner in front of all the greats.
Oh,
Boy,
wow.
he loves that dinner.
Oh,
This is,
wow.
me with the 3 friends.
The big four.
Sid, Doc,
Yes.
and Ojeda, skiing or standing.
Wow,
And this
what
is
a
my
fa-
brother who got in the Hall of Fame at our high school. I was so proud of him.
Oh, there's John Martin, my old teammate with New York, and Don Mattingly at the Gold Glove Awards dinner this summer. There I am with Ozzie and Dave Winfield. Now, I'm not pictured. And there's McDuff. And there's Richard Neer
helping you move.
This is where you hurt your back, by the way.
That's right, the culprit.
More pictures coming. Francisco Alvarez leads off in the home 4th against Jacob Lopez. Alvarez has the hardest hit ball in this game, 110-mile-an-hour line out to left field. Left fielder Soderstrom this time is backed up almost to the warning track. Alvarez, then Benj and Semien for the Mets in the 4th. It's an opportunity to creep a little closer in the 3rd when they loaded the bases, but Lopez was able to get out of trouble. And Alvarez takes a fastball for a strike, 2-1. Alvarez lines one to center this time, and it's Denzel Clark there to grab it, one away.
Oh, that's my 72nd birthday.
I was back in
Kai
October.
made a beautiful cake for me.
Well, there's Steve with the family at Disney World, doing some skiing at a Ranger game,
Oh,
and on his hockey team.
First year back in men's league, boys. That's Ken, Josh, Matt.
nice.
Yeah. You know, my first game back had the Gordie Howe hat trick, goal assist, and I may have gotten into a little fight.
No, not
Yeah,
you.
no, I did. And I sat in the penalty box and thought to myself, you know what? You're a little too much of a public figure now to be doing this.
Steve, get the glasses back on.
So was it like 2 minutes for roughing, or did you get like 5
No,
and
it was
a
2 minutes.
misconduct?
It was 2 minutes for roughing. Yeah. You know, the blood started to boil. I'm a defenseman. They were messing with my goalie. No good.
And did you give up any soft goals?
Oh yeah.
2-1 to Carson Benj.
How sore were you after the first game you played?
So, Robbie, this is actually a funny story. You know, I hadn't played men's league in like 10 years, and I tried to hop over the boards the way that I normally did, and I yanked my groin. I was lying in bed for like 5 days with the Theragun. My wife was like, "You're out of your mind right now."
Now, I know how hard ice time is to come by. You guys play at like 3 in the morning?
10:30 at night.
That's not bad.
10:30. We got a playoff game tomorrow night, but apparently I have to go to Los Angeles.
Apparently so. 2-2 to Carson Benj. And he lines one the other way for a base hit. That's what we've been looking for against the lefties from Benj. That's what he did all spring.
And he leveled off on that high pitch. He's watched the swing. It's more, look at the level swing right there. Not the big uppercut. That's a very, very good sign.
So the Mets have their 4th hit. 1 out and 1 on for Marcus Semien. With a slow grinder to the left of the mound. Lopez threw him out, and Kurtz made a great scoop at first base. Semien now 1 for 17 on this homestand. And that cutter wrapped around the plate. It's 2-0.
You know, we were talking about Lopez being like Nepper, Bob Nepper, and a little bit like Candelaria. When I faced those guys, I never tried to pull them because they had that hard sinker inside. I didn't want to hit that pitch. I looked away and for the fastball and adjusted to the breaking ball and went up the middle. I did not want even attempt to try to pull them. The tough left-handers on lefties.
2-1 to Simeon with Tyrone Taylor on deck. Still used to Tyrone. We're in 28. A little different. The best changeups Lopez has thrown. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
You know what? He's walked 2 guys, but he's been throwing strikes long for a guy that came in with 10 walks and 2 starts.
Simeon yanks one foul just over the A's dugout. Weather's warmed up a tad, 61 degrees. Wind blowing in from left field across toward right. Two coming. And Simeon chases a fastball for strike 3. Third strikeout for Lopez, 2 out in the inning. More, what did you do in the offseason? Here are our production guys. Our producer, Greg Picker, his son, Jake, got married to Brooke. Congratulations to them. Doesn't it look like his head is superimposed on his body?
Nice.
Our director, Eddie Warman, and his wife, Shayna. Quiet times at the Rutgers games.
Only people that have ever smiled at Rutgers.
Not a lot to be excited about at Rutgers basketball this year.
Well, he's loyal to.
Yes, to a fault.
Very loyal.
He's loyal to us. That's the best part. Tyrone Taylor dumped a single into center field his first time up. Bench at first and 2 out. And there's another good changeup by Lopez. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now the pitcher's in shade and the hitter's in shade, but Tyrone's wearing sunglasses. There goes Benj. The throw to second by Langoliers is too late. And Benj has his 5th stolen base without being caught. He could really run.
Good jump. He can fly. Easily pilfered.
You like the pop-up slide, kid?
Yes. I love the Lou Brock pop-up slide.
Two and 1 to Taylor. And that backdoor slider misses 3-1. I always worry about the pop-up slide with the replay rules that the guy comes off by a millimeter.
I worry more about the head first sliding by the bag, and the guy coming off not being able to hold on to the bag. There's no way, if you do a pop-up slide, you should be able to stay on the bag.
Taylor pops one up into shallow right center. Butler in the sunshine, puts it away, side retired. After 4, 7-1 A's. More of what did you do during the offseason? Our associate producer, Tommy Rockland, wants to get into the act. Oh, there he is with his lovely girlfriend, Isabel.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
That is a big family gathering.
That is
A clan.
It was his grandfather's birthday.
Tommy, I hope you could expense that dinner from Prime 112. I mean, that's serious.
Jeff McNeil's 2 for 2 today. And our brand new associate producer, Michael Stem, gets into the act.
Michael's
big family.
You're on the road with us, brother. You're in trouble.
Looks like a very Merry Christmas at the Stem house. McNeil drops down a bunt, and this one goes just foul enough for Alvarez to swipe it.
Very wisely by Francisco. Remember the bunt the other day that came back in fair territory?
One by Jared Young that went from foul to fair, and Alvarez wasn't going to let it do that.
It was coming back.
It wanted to come back.
It's it. To see James Hoy, he's kidding with Alvarez. He said, you got to get on the other side. I almost didn't see that.
Alvarez is barking at McNeil. What are you doing?
Yeah, swing the bat.
You're 2 for 2. You're 4 for 6 in the series.
He's aiming to rub it in.
Is he Jeff's
batting champ?
Jeff still using the torpedo bat?
Yep.
Sure is.
More like a bowling pin than a torpedo.
It sure does.
Candle pin.
That's such a nice looking uniform. It really is.
And McNeil goes down swinging on the changeup. So Brazoban has his third strikeout. He's done a nice job filling some long relief outs. That's a cutter. Drop just like his changeup.
Really?
So 1 out now. Max Muncy, who struck out twice against Senga. If you're just joining us, Kodai Senga got knocked out in the 3rd inning, gave up 7 runs, more than he'd ever given up before in a big league game. Gave up a 3-run homer for the first time in his big league career to the guy on deck, Carlos Cortez.
Yeah, it seemed like the ball really, where it hasn't even carried that much this season so far early, and sure carrying the right field today.
Placed in the left field, a base hit for Muncy. So the second hit against Brazoban, a 1-out single in the 5th.
Oh, 2 pitch. That's just a hanging slider.
Yep.
Threw that really good one to strike out McNeil, and that one just sat on a tee. That when you hang a slider, it just kind of sits in the middle of the plate forever.
And Mr. Benz that time made sure he made that play.
Cortez, who has the biggest hit in this game, his first home run of the season, a 3-run shot that knocked Senga out of the box in the 3rd. Cortez had 4 home runs in his 42 games with the A's last year.
There you go. Oh. That was a tougher play than the other one.
Almost overran it, but stayed with it. And Muncy was starting to dash off first base, and Brazoban stepped off and looked towards second. How do you know as a pitcher whether to step off and look to first or step off and spin around and look to second?
It's a good question. I could always feel the runner behind me, and through peripheral vision, I knew if he did something like that, certainly would throw to Keith. But I got tricked by that once. Do you remember the 1st and 3rd play that baseball used to always run? And it was put on by Davey in Houston one night. And you guys remember Gerald Young, the center fielder, lots of speed.
Houston.
Houston. So I faked the 3rd, threw to 1st. We had plenty of time because Gerald Young was on 2nd. He had stolen while I had faked the 3rd and threw to 1st. So that was the last time that ever happened.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was very embarrassing.
I don't remember that.
That's now an illegal play.
Yep.
I once saw Turk Wendell make it work twice in 1 inning.
No way.
Yeah, picked the guy off first base twice.
It's
in
like
1 inning.
It's like Tippy Martinez in the late 70s.
Right.
He got out of an inning by picking off a runner 3 times.
2-2 to Cortez with Muncy at first, and Cortez fouls back the fastball.
These A's are swinging the bat.
Well, with their performance last night, they moved up to 7th in the American League in runs per game, even though their on-base percentage is 13th in the league. They don't draw a lot of walks, but they've been getting a lot of hits. 10 of them today. We're only in the 5th inning. Ground ball right near the bag. Lindor with the step and fire for the 6-6-3 double play, and that retires the side. 2 2/3 for Brazoban gets us halfway through. Home 5th inning, 3rd time through the batting order for Jacob Lopez, who's working with a 6-run lead. Francisco Lindor 0 for 2, and now 1 for 3 as he pokes the first pitch into right field for a leadoff single. 5th hit of the day for the Mets.
Went with the pitch. Ball's on the outside corner, even on Mets, slightly off the plate.
So the Mets have a leadoff base runner. Now Luis Robert has been aboard twice with a single and a walk. He's scored the only Met run. Jacob Lopez did not have an easy path to the major leagues. He was a 26th round draft pick by the Giants in 2018. He went to Australia to play. After the COVID season in the winter of 2021, he played in the Australian Baseball League for the Perth Heat. Then he was traded to Tampa Bay. He had Tommy John surgery in 22. And then didn't make it to the big leagues till last year when he emerged as a fifth starting option for the A's. With Raleigh up in the Mets bullpen. Couple of rough starts to begin the year, but he has certainly pitched better today against a struggling Met offense.
Well, guys, in a game that covets velocity and spin, you can see how difficult it must be to get a job in the major leagues for a softer tosser like Jacob Lopez.
This stuff is pretty similar to David Peterson's.
Yeah.
2-2 to Robert. And he struck him out with a changeup.
He's got a good change.
Fourth strikeout for Lopez, one out in the fifth.
I came in hearing a lot about his slider, but you're right, Keith. His change has been his best out pitch.
And he doesn't give it away in his motion or point of release. It's really effective. I can see why the A's have stuck like this guy. He's got a good arm. Impressive.
Here's Jorge Polanco. Has hit 2 ground balls, 0 for 2. And he gets a first pitch changeup and can't find it. 0-1. Did I hear that Jacob Lopez, the A's pitcher, went to the same high school as our director, Eddie Warman?
That's right. Saugus High School in Santa Clarita, home of Six Flags. Eddie knows that.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Huh.
What's the best roller coaster at that Six Flags?
I don't know. My days on a roller coaster are done. I'm a little afraid now.
Well, I mean, he's from California. He decided to go to college in New Brunswick.
I mean, he could have went to College of the Canyons.
It's the only school that would take him.
Well, he knew that someday the Big Ten would stretch to California, so.
There you go. There you go.
Now, Eddie, was that Orange County or L.A. County?
No, Los Angeles
County. Okay.
It's about 30 miles north of like Santa Monica.
Oh, north of Santa Monica.
Yeah,
okay.
when I used to live in Santa Monica for many years, and you would drive through Santa Clarita, and the summer day it'd be 105, and you get to Santa Monica, it'd be 65.
Yep.
Microclimates.
Yep.
Bo Bichette waits on deck. Lopez up to 80 pitches. He's thrown as many as 92 already this year in a start. And he strikes out Polanco with a changeup.
And he puts that changeup to the right-hander, knee-high outside corner. He hasn't made a mistake with it over the middle. Well, there's the grip, and look at the location. That is perfectly placed.
5 strikeouts now for Lopez, including back-to-back here in the 5th. And now Bo Bichette, who drove in the only Met run in the first inning with a base hit to center. He shoots that one down the right field line, but it'll go foul.
Oh, wow, RJ.
Yeah, you can see just so far out on his fingers.
And it's under him.
Yeah, nothing buried into the palm of his hand, and that's why the pitch never gets there for the hitter. And it's a great drop as well.
Wow.
Lopez trying to get through 5 to qualify for a win. Got 7 wins last year as a rookie. Bichette drives one out to right field. That's deep. Back goes Butler, back near the wall, and it's off the top of the wall. They say it's a home run.
Yes.
It cleared the orange line. Bo Bichette with his first home run as a New York Met. An opposite field 2-run shot to get the Mets a little closer. It's now 7-3. Bichette's driven in all 3 runs for the Mets. That one had just enough to get over the orange line for Bichette's first home run as a Met.
Well, all home runs today, all 3 have been to that on the right side. But he hit this ball well, and that's Bichette. That ball was up in the strike zone.
So that may be the jolt of energy the Mets need.
To wake up the sleeping giant. Oh,
Just got over the line.
good effort by Butler. I mean, he could have. Oh, he had a chance to rob.
Bichette had 18 home runs last year for Toronto. His career high was 29. He did that in 2021. Doesn't have maybe the raw power that his dad had, but he can still hit some home runs. Vientos is 0 for 2. And Mark takes a letter high strike with a changeup. 1-2.
The batter's challenging the strike.
Vientos challenging the strike 2 call on that high changeup, but it was a strike. So he loses that challenge.
New York has one
Make the
challenge
right
remaining.
call with Sterling Optical. See clearly and look great doing it. That is not a good spot for a challenge. 2 out and nobody on. Unless you're absolutely certain.
That's why he's taking the time out to kind of regroup.
And the backdoor slider just missed.
Oh, he thought he had it.
Langoliers
A's are going to challenge that call.
Athletics are challenging the ball.
Lopez was walking off. He figured for sure he got the outside corner, but he did not. So both teams lose a challenge in the same at bat.
That's it for the A's.
Yeah,
correct?
they've done with challenges. They've lost 2 of them.
back
How
to
about that?
back.
Both with 2 out and
Misses.
nobody on. Not good. In the 5th inning. 2-2 coming. And Vientos gets one in the air to right center field. Clark and Butler takes charge. Side retired. Bichette gets the Mets closer with his first Mets home run. 7-3 A's after 5. Connor Rogers and Joe DeMayo break down where Mark Vientos fits in the offense. And the recent play of Freddie Peralta, Bo Bichette, and Carson Bench. The popcorn is really distracting me. On the latest episode of the Mets Pod, subscribe and listen wherever you get your podcast. You know, we have popcorn that is in the press room, but it's never warm. You need to get the popcorn right out of the popper.
That's right. Well, I mean, it's not their fault. They are working tirelessly when we first come in here.
Yep.
Boxing all that popcorn.
But by the time it's in the boxes, it's cold.
Dude, it's cold even when they put it in the boxes. It's, come on.
Brooks Raley on to pitch in the 6th inning.
Ooh.
Line to left field by Denzel Clark, and there's Bench to make the backhand grab for the first out. And Bench has been tested in left field today.
Oh, they're saying the ball kind of knuckled on him. Whoa, it almost popped out.
So 1 pitch and 1 hard out
He would
against
not have-
Raley, who has not pitched since Tuesday.
He would not have needed that to happen.
Now Lawrence Butler up for the 4th time. Butler led off the game with a base hit. Drove a run with a fielder's choice to put the A's in front in the 2nd. Then he struck out in the 3rd. Terrific long relief job by Huáscar Brazoban. 2 2/3, no runs, 2 hits, no walks, 3 strikeouts. Through 38 pitches in 2 2/3. The only problem with pitching Raley in this spot is that they've been very cautious with him, which means if he pitches today, he probably will not pitch tomorrow.
This would be a nice game for the Mets to come back and win.
I would have thought this would be a perfect spot to get Craig Kimbrell into his first game for the Mets. Just called up today.
There's one.
I think because of the Butler, Kurtz, lefty, 1 and 2 hitters, I think that's why Raley's in.
And a strikeout for Raley as he went to the sweeper to get Butler. And there are 2 out. The road ahead, your radio home for the Mets is 880 AM and streaming on the free Odyssey app. Getaway day tomorrow. Mets will have Freddie Peralta on the mound. Then they head to LA and Chicago on the road trip. Dodgers are 10-3. The Cubs lost again today to the Pirates in 11 innings. They're now 6-8 on the year.
So, Ronnie, you're picking me up in Chicago, correct?
Yes.
And it's my understanding with the 10 o'clock getaway day that the Mets are going to be flying to Chicago after the game, and they won't get into Chicago till, and I say you too as well, till 6 a.m. in the morning.
Not us. We're not doing that game. That's an ESPN game on Wednesday.
Nice. 6 a.m. the team's going to ride, but they get there on the off day.
Yeah, they got a whole day in Chicago.
I'm not going to fly until Thursday. Same as you, right?
Me too.
All day games in Chicago. You have nice dinners after the game.
I plan on spending all of Wednesday in the sun.
Yes.
It's supposed to be a beautiful day in LA. We haven't had very much sun since spring training. It's time.
Make sure don't wear their cap. Make sure that cap's off so you get the full experience.
Well, I'd get the head line, the head tan line. You don't want that underneath the beanie. That would look really bad on the air. Worse than I already do.
Oh my gosh.
Then I'd have to wear another pink tie to, for the contrast. Kurtz draws a walk. Third walk he's drawn in this series. And so the A's have a 2-out base runner. Beautiful crowd gathered. Juan Soto's bobblehead day. Here's Langoliers, who had a double and scored a run in the third. He's got 5 in that third inning to knock Senga out. And Langoliers lifts one out to center. Roberts gives some ground. At the edge of the warning track, he makes the catch to retire the side. Scoreless inning for Raley. Mets will go back to work down by 4. Home 6th inning. Mets were down 7-1. Bo Bichette hit a 2-run homer to get them a little closer. Now they'll try and continue their comeback against Jacob Lopez, who's gotten through 5 innings for the first time this season, and now will work into the 6th. Francisco Alvarez hit 2 line drives, 1 to left, 1 to center. A hard 0 for 2. And he takes the first pitch slider low and in for ball 1.
Just keep pecking away. You got 4 more cracks here.
Carson Benj on deck, and then Marcus Semien. Both bullpens are active. The newest Met, future Hall of Famer Craig Kimbrell, is up in the Mets bullpen, wearing his very familiar number 46 that he's worn for most of his career. Alvarez drives one out to center field. Back goes Clark to the warning track. Back at the wall. Jumping. He can't get it. I think it hit the railing over the fence. They're saying it's in play. It looked like Clark deflected that ball over the orange line and off the railing.
Yeah, he should have caught it.
The call on the field was in play, but I think the umpires are going to talk about it. It looks like it should be Alvarez's 4th home run of the year.
Oh, yes. Definite.
Yeah, it hit the black after it hit the top.
Yeah, it hit the top of the fence, and then caroms off the cement black.
Oh, he had it.
Yeah, that is absolutely a home run. So the Mets are going to get another one back. Once the replay center takes a look, Lance Barksdale and Andy Fletcher are the crew chiefs in the replay center.
Definite home run.
So Alvarez, 3rd time he's hit the ball hard today. And the Mets' 2nd home run of the last 2 innings. Play under review presented by Citizens, making sense of the play. This shouldn't take more than a few seconds.
Almost a terrific catch.
Well, it was risky to send Lopez back out there for
I
the
agree.
6th inning, and it cost him a point here.
After review, home run.
And so Alvarez will complete his trip around the bases, his 4th home run of the season. That leads the ball club. And the Mets, with home runs in each of the last 2 innings, have cut the A's lead to 7-4. He knew all along he
Come
had a
on
home
now.
run.
How about the 3 at-bats he's had in this game?
Last year, Francisco Alvarez hit his 4th home run on July 22nd. He's got 4 on April 11th. There's Carson Benj, who had a base hit to left field his last time up. You a little surprised that Lopez is still in this game?
I was surprised they sent him back out for the 6th. He's had 2 tough starts. You want to give a guy a positive feeling. 5 innings, winning, but trying to get 3 more outs. I get it.
And they had to use their bullpen for 5 innings yesterday.
Yeah.
One and one to Benj.
Well, not enough in. Right down the pipe, and he squared it up.
This is inside with the slider. 2 balls and a strike.
Doesn't matter now. No more challenges for the Athletics. So anything close, they can't do anything about it.
Boy, teams are really going to have to go to school on when the appropriate time to use those challenges is. And another slider that's off the plate. Joel Kunal is up in the bullpen for the A's. He saved a game for them earlier this week. But getting ready in the 6th inning. Lopez at a season high 95 pitches. And Benj takes inside, ball 4. So a home run and a walk to start the 6th inning, and that's going to be all for Lopez. Marcotte might have gone just a shade too long with his young left-hander. So he will depart with a 3-run lead, but the Mets, after a home run, get a walk to Benj, and they need just 1 more base runner to bring up the tying run. Call to the bullpen brought to you by Nissan. It's 5 where winning is everything. By Nissan, every Nissan is designed for people who refuse to settle for less. Visit nissanusa.com or your local dealer. And by Prevagen. A sparkling Saturday afternoon. The Mets trying to come back. They've already shaved 3 runs off a 6-run deficit. Joel Kunal will come on to pitch. Facing Marcus Semien with Benj at first and nobody out. And this first pitch is well outside for ball 1. Kunal's been well traveled. First came to the big leagues with the Reds in 2019. Pitched for Houston, Tampa Bay. Had not pitched in the big leagues since 2024 until this season. And now making his 3rd appearance. He was pressed into a save chance earlier in the week because they had run out of pitching. And now coming on in the 6th inning behind Lopez, who went 5 innings plus and 96 pitches. 2-0 to Semien, who's 0 for 2 today. And Marcus pounds one into the ground on a sinker. 2-1.
Yeah, pretty obvious sinker slider.
Yeah, he's got a good sink.
Lopez gave up 7 hits, 4 runs so far, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts, 2 home runs. And Semien lines one into left field for a base hit. Around second on his way to third is Benj. The throw comes in wide, and Benj arrives safely at third base, advancing on a base hit to left. Benj showing off his base running, and the Mets will get the tying run to the plate in the 6th inning.
Sinker that didn't sink. And the Mets are in business. A little bit of a risk here, him doing it.
Well,
Going to stretching it, but it got there.
Soderstrom has one of the best arms of any left fielder in the game.
He's out at the throws on the base.
Interesting, his left hand, if we see that again, left hand of Benj hit.
Yes.
Well, he hit the foot with his right hand and
Right
hit
hand,
the player with his left hand.
Now Brett Beatty is going to bat for Tyrone Taylor with the tying run coming to bat. Beatty out of the lineup against the lefty today, went 0 for 4 last night.
And the Mets have a good bench. Good depth.
Benj at third, Semien at first, Beatty at the plate, nobody out. Infield back at double play depth. And Beatty first pitch swinging, flies one out to center, not all that deep. Coming on is Clark, and he makes the catch. Here comes Benj. Clark is going to throw home, missed the cutoff man, but Semien does not advance. Sacrifice fly for Beatty, gets a run in. It's now 7-5.
Well, I would have loved to have seen Semien on this very high throw home. I mean, not a strong throw. Clearly over the cutoff man's. Oh, not that much. Not a good throw home.
So that's the first out of the inning. The tying run remains at bat with Francisco Lindor coming up. Still looking for his first run batted in of the season. Mets were down 7-1. Home runs by Bichette and Alvarez. Beatty with a sac fly, and now it's 7-5.
They're back in the hunt.
Lindor had a base hit batting right-handed his last time up. Now batting left-handed for the first time today. And first pitch swinging, flies one out to left center. This one's playable for Soderstrom, easing back to the warning track. And just manages to stay with it and make the catch.
Jeez, I'm
ball
drifting.
had some carry to it.
Boy, did he drift after that.
So Lindor with a long fly ball that Soderstrom nearly let get away.
Ooh, almost came out.
That's what happens. You use two hands. That doesn't happen.
Double reaction by Tim Leeper and Joel Kuhnel. So now Luis Robert, and he hits a sharp grounder right at short. And Wilson makes the play to retire the side. But the Mets shave 2 more runs off the A's lead. It's 7-5 after 6. Presented by Prevagen. 4th time around the rotation. Freddie Peralta gets the ball against Aaron Savali. And Craig Kimbrell makes his Mets debut. The future Hall of Famer now pitching for his 10th different major league team.
Look at those numbers.
Only 4 pitchers in history have more saves than Craig Kimbrell. Tyler Soderstrom first man to face him and gets the break ball and flies it out to center. Back goes Robert onto the warning track to make the catch.
Boy, the ball's jumping today.
1 pitch, 1 long out.
Kind of makes sense that the first pitch Kimbrell throws in a Mets uniform is a breaking pitch. He's going to throw more breaking pitches. We saw in spring sat around 93, 94 miles an hour, which is probably 4 or 5 miles an hour from off of his prime.
Yeah, there was a time when he was 97, 98 routinely, and the Mets saw plenty of him, particularly in his early days with the Braves. There's Jacob Wilson, who's 2 for 3, and he takes a fastball for a strike. Only 4 pitchers have more saves than Kimbrell: Mariano Rivera, Trevor Hoffman, Kenley Jansen, who's still going, and Lee Smith. But here's my favorite stat on Kimbrell. There are only 3 pitchers who've ever had more saves at Citi Field than Craig Kimbrell. I'm not talking about opponents. I'm talking about everybody who's pitched at Citi Field. The only 3 pitchers with more Citi Field saves are Edwin Diaz, Jerry's Familia, and Frankie Rodriguez. Kimbrell is 4th on the list, ahead of Bobby Parnell, Henry Mejia, and Frank Francisco.
That is pretty amazing.
I love that. 1-2 coming to Wilson. And a half swing. Did it go around? He did. Strike 3. So Kimbrell has his first strikeout as a Met. 2 down in the inning.
He dropped down a little bit on that. That really had some horizontal run on that pitch. Watch it. Oh, Wilson said, no way. Well, might be no way, but that's how it goes.
He doesn't get to 2 strikes very often. Usually the ball's in play a lot earlier.
Oh, I like him. Good player.
Now Jeff McNeil is 2 for 3 today. Well, the Mets have done the comebacking on offense, but it wouldn't be possible without the bullpen, which has been tremendous so far. Brazoban, Raley, and Kimbrel have combined to get 13 outs without allowing a run. And McNeil lines one into center field for a base hit. So Jeff, after a 2-hit game last night in his homecoming, has 3 hits today.
Welcome home. The sweet stroke we saw for many seasons. Hit machine at times.
Now Max Muncy, who's 1 for 3 today, and a base hit to left his last time up. Kimbrel starts off with a curveball that's fouled off, 0-1.
You got to feed Muncy a steady diet of breaking balls. He doesn't like that pitch. Doesn't like anything spinning.
Muncy with his hit today has now hit in 8 straight games. Up on that front toe.
Good up
Foul
and in.
tip on a high fastball, 0-2.
Up and in.
The hardest one he's thrown so far. Everyone's been 92. That was 93.
You see the all-time list. Jansen got a save last night to tie Lee Smith for 3rd all-time. McNeil at first with 2 out. 0-2 coming. Just missed away. And Alvarez going to challenge the call.
I thought that was outside.
Well, the Mets had 1 more challenge left. The A's are already out of challenges. And Alvarez got it right.
Oh, way to go.
And that's how the inning ends. 2nd strikeout for Kimbrel. Nice job by Alvarez. Make the right call with Sterling Optical. See clearly and look great doing it. CarShield presents streaming of SNY on the MLB app. Stay on top of all the amazing action anytime on any device. Free with eligible TV subscriptions. Scan the code and download the MLB app today. Jorge Polanco turns around to bat left-handed for the first time today, facing Justin Sterner, who had a really good rookie year for the A's last year and is off to a good start this year.
Yeah, team leading 59 games for Sterner last year.
Breaking ball drilled down the right field line, headed toward the Coca-Cola corner, and it's out of here! Jorge Polanco with his first home run as a New York Met. The Mets have homered in 3 straight innings, and this is now a 1-run ball game. Bichette in the 5th, Alvarez in the 6th, and now Polanco's first home run as a Met, just his 2nd RBI, and it's 7-6. You get him, Cash.
Slider that he got the barrel out on.
Now Bo Bichette, who got this comeback started with a 2-run homer in the 5th.
Slider, and watch him get out in front and get it.
Really great example of how to use your legs to generate that power.
Bichette had a base hit to center to drive and run in the 1st, 2-run homer in the 5th.
It's got to feel good for Polanco.
26 home runs last year for Seattle, his 1st for New York. And that slider stayed inside to Bichette, 2-1. So Bichette has his first homer as a Met. Polanco has his. Exactly what the Mets need, especially with Soto on the sidelines. Good swing by Bichette, and he fouled back the fastball, 2-2.
As I said earlier, it's just up to the pitching to stop the run, stop the bleeding, and just you got a lot of game to just peck away. And here the Mets are right in the hunt.
Bullpen's thrown 4 2/3 scoreless after Senga came out. And that slider missed outside, 3-2 to Bichette.
Sterner really short arms it in there, almost has a catcher's motion straight from the ear when he throws that slider.
Three-two. Fouled off the cutter. Well, Sterner had a really good rookie year last year, but One drawback, 65 innings, 10 home runs allowed. And now he gives up the home run that gets the Mets a little closer. Seventh pitch to Bichette, and he fouled back that fastball to stay in. Vientos on deck, and then Francisco Alvarez. Brazoban, Raley, and Kimbrel have combined for 4 2/3 scoreless innings. The Mets were down by 6. And Bichette slashes that one foul into the netting.
Bichette gets 2 strikes on him, boy. He really fights off that pitch in, which makes him his strength away.
Bichette came into the day with 6 RBIs. He's driven in 3 in this game. And it's outside, ball 4. 9-pitch walk for Bo Bichette, and now the tying run is on base with nobody out.
This is how the 6th inning started.
In the 6th, Alvarez homered, then Benj walked. Here Polanco homers and Bichette walks. And now Mark Vientos 0 for 3 today, 0 for 13 on this homestand. The A's 7 runs, 11 hits. The Mets 6 runs and 9 hits. Marcotze's had to stretch his bullpen the last few days. And Sterner misses with the cutter for ball 1.
Fastball, cutter, sweeper that you get from Sterner. Mostly cutters and sweepers in this appearance so far.
Mets have arrested Luke Weaver and Devin Williams to cover the 8th and 9th today. And Vientos chases 1-1.
Good time for Vientos to think about right center, the way the ball's jumping here.
So much power that way. We saw that in 24. And chases another cutter, and it's 1-2. Waiting for the phone to ring. One less.
That is Dan Hubbs.
And Vientos goes down on the fastball. So Sterner takes care of Vientos for the first out of the inning.
Mixed in the fastball there, so everything away, and then came inside with a good fastball to Sterner.
You know who he throws like? Jason Mott.
Oh, good call. Jason Mott, Jason Adam from San Diego, that kind of arm action.
The former catchers.
Little short armor.
So now Alvarez, who's hit the ball harder than anybody else today. 3 at bats, 2 lineouts to the outfield, and then his 4th home run of the year. Alvarez now has 4 home runs and 4 RBIs. Needs to mix in the RBI double here. Bichette at first with 1 out. And he takes a slider for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike.
That's the one that starts out inside and you get frozen and it breaks down the middle and you go, oh, darn, if I just stayed in.
Big hole on the right side of the infield. And it's up and away. Hardest pitch Sterner's thrown at 94. 2 balls and a strike. Sterner, one of those guys who took a long time to get to the big leagues. Rookie last year at age 28. Came out of Brigham Young. And that fastball right there for a strike, and it's 2-2. Scott Barlow, who pitched last night, is up in the bullpen. And then they have Hogan Harris for the 9th. 2-2. Grounded to third and past Muncy into left field. A base hit for Alvarez. Off the bat, it looks like a double play ball, but Muncy not moving well to his left and went right on by.
Not at all.
Yeah, once he didn't close. That ball had too much topspin. He was never going to field that on the hop.
So now the tying run is on second. The potential go-ahead run is at first. Scott Emerson, the pitching coach, on his way out to the mound to talk to Sterner before he faces Carson Benj. Benj has had some much better at-bats today, and a single and a walk against the left-hander. Now we'll get to face the right-hander Sterner.
How about a couple of go-ahead RBIs here in the 7th? That would be nice.
Carson Benj, in his brief big league career, is 0 for 13 with runners in scoring position.
You do.
Be a good time to change that. 7-6 A's. Bottom of the 7th. Mets were down 7-1. They've got the tying run Bichette at second. The go-ahead run Alvarez at first with 1 out. And Benj takes one at his feet for ball 1.
Sterner doesn't get strike 1. He's getting himself behind in the count.
Remember, no challenges now for the Athletics on anything close to get him out of an inning.
Benj foul tips the fastball, and it's 1-1. Sterner usually has pretty good control. Under 3 walks per 9 last year as a rookie. He made his debut with Tampa Bay 2 years ago, and then the A's got him on waivers and used him a lot. 1-1 to Benj. And he lifts one out to left. Soderstrom, playing toward the line, is there. And that's the second out. So 2 out and 2 on, and it's left to Marcus Semien. Semien had a base hit, greeting Joel Kunal in the 6th inning. 1 for 3 on the day. Bichette at second, Alvarez at first with 2 out. And Semien hits one in the air to left field, got it off the end of the bat. Soderstrom coming on to make the catch, and that retires the side. Polanco's home run gets the Mets closer. 7-6 A's after 7.
Really good for Bichette, 4 times on base, and then Alvarez tapping the ball all over the park.
All right, now we'll see if they can complete this comeback. Gary, back to you.
All right, Gary, the Mets have gotten great bullpen work so far. Luke Weaver will try and keep that going.
Yeah, he's trying to come off a tough appearance against Arizona, gave up a couple of runs in 2/3 of an inning. Perfect before that.
He'll face Carlos Cortez. 8, 9, and 1 in the order for the A's in the 8th. Cortez hit a 3-run homer in the 3rd that ended Kodai Senga's day. And a slow ground ball.
Nice.
Weaver off the mound. 1 pitch, 1 out. That's the way to get it started.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's quick. He's got quick feet.
Nice comeback appearance would be nice.
Oscar Brazoban, 2 2/3, no runs, 2 hits. Brooks Raley, an inning, no runs, no hits. Craig Kimbrell in his Mets debut, an inning, no runs, 1 hit, only 10 pitches and a couple of strikeouts for Kimbrell. Here's Denzel Clark, who drove in the first A's run today with a bases loaded walk. Since then, he's grounded out and lined to left. Bichette in on the cutout at 3rd. And Clark takes a sinker below the knees, ball 1. And now 2-0. The A's have Scott Barlow continuing to loosen in the bullpen. Looks like he's going to get the bottom of the 8th. Mets will have 9, 1, and 2 in the order coming up. Remember, Beatty sitting in the 9 hole. It's an odd bullpen for the A's in that they only have 1 left-hander, and that's their closer. Hogan Harris. And so it's Barlow. Well, now it's Leiter taking over for Barlow in the bullpen.
Barlow threw yesterday, so maybe he was up just to get an out if they needed an out. Leiter, a guy they want to get a full inning from.
Leiter pitched last night as well. Up and away to Clark, 3-1. And there's a strike. Full count. Lawrence Butler, the on-deck batter.
It's always seems like the safe bet for the pitchers. They're not going to get hurt down and away behind 3-1 or 2-0.
You work on that pitch, Keith, that you can deliver that anytime you need it.
Three-two coming. And he hits it past Vientos into right field for a base hit. So Clark takes one the other way for a one-out single. His second hit in this series.
Just out of his reach.
Ball was hit on the nose.
So now Lawrence Butler, who has struck out in his last two at-bats after a single and an RBI fielder's choice his first two. And he takes first pitch fastball for a strike. Most of these A's have faced Weaver before since he was in the American League the last couple of years. Butler is 0 for 5 in his career against Weaver with a couple of strikeouts. And takes the changeup for a strike. And it's 0-2. The dangerous bat of Nick Kurtz waiting on deck. Clark dancing off first, and again Weaver spun as though he was going to go to second with it.
Well, you want to protect the lead base before the back base, so I get that. You know, you get startled when you hear everyone yelling step up, step off. So
0-2 coming. Butler takes changeup down 1-2.
the correct play is you step off and you just look at the runner wherever he is, even if he's halfway. Just a simple toss to second and he's out.
I mean, do they ever say step 1 or step 2?
No, it's just step off, step off, step off.
Butler goes down on the high fastball. 2 men down. Third time in a row Butler's been struck out. That's 10 strikeouts from that pitching today.
Just the one changeup, all fastballs to Butler. This one to put him away was letters high.
Well, now Nick Kurtz is the only athletic in the lineup without a hit today, but the most dangerous bat in the lineup. 0 for 3 and a walk in this game. Clark has yet to steal a base this year. 6 for 6 last year in his cameo. The A's 7 runs and 12 hits. The Mets 6 runs and 10 hits. We're in the 8th.
Got to keep this dangerous hitter in the ballpark.
Last year's American League Rookie of the Year, 36 home runs in only 117 games. Still looking for his first of this year. Struck out in his only career at bat against Weaver. Short lead at first for Clark. And Kurtz takes it up and away, 2-0. He's at the top 2 in the AL Rookie of the Year balloting last year.
Love big time OPS.
I mean, that's just extraordinary from a rookie.
That's on the dark side of the moon.
With Pink Floyd? Or with Artemis?
Yes.
3-0 now to Kurtz.
I was thinking more in terms of Artemis.
Well, you know he's got the green light. Does he throw him a 3-0 changeup?
Keep it away.
Langolier is a tough at bat.
And threw him a fastball, and Kurtz took it for a strike. 3-1.
Keith was saying it before. When you're in this mess, you got to locate something knees away.
3-1 coming to Kurtz. And he fouled back the fastball. Buck Showalter said he'd never seen anybody do that better, locate that low and away fastball on 2-0 and 3-1 than Kurt Schilling.
Oh, yeah. He was so good.
Well, Kurt Schilling should
Kurt
be in the
in
Hall of
Arizona.
Fame, in my estimation.
Clark will be running. Vientos playing behind him. 3-2 from Weaver to Kurtz. And it's low, ball 4. He came with the changeup on 3-2, and Kurtz walks for the 4th time in this series. So now the A's have a couple of men on looking for insurance in the 8th. It's 4 walks from Met pitchers today, and Langoliers will get another opportunity. Langoliers has swung the bat well again today. A double, a line out, and a warning track fly ball in his last 3 at bats, and Justin Willard heads out to try to advise Weaver before he takes on Langoliers.
You know, the problem with watching Langoliers hit against the Mets is the Mets do very little inside. You don't see a lot of fastballs inside the Langoliers, so you don't know if that's a strength or a weakness for him. But he has been able to get outside and really torture the Mets pitchers on anything away.
Part of the problem, isn't it, when you have teams that you only play one
There you
series
go.
a year, or even in the case of the teams in the NL Central and West, 2 series a year. Langoliers has a home run against Weaver, 2 hits and 4 at bats. Clark with good speed at second. Kurtz at first with 2 out. 7-6 A's in the 8th. And Langoliers takes a fastball that just missed for ball 1. Mets bullpen has been impeccable so far today. 5 1/3 innings without a run scoring. Weaver trying to keep it that way. And it's low and away with a cutter. 2 balls and no strikes.
Dangerous pitch right here.
Yeah, you're right, Keith. And also with Langoliers, in RBI situations, he's not afraid to hit the ball to right field.
Simeon up the middle, right side of the infield's wide open.
2-0 from Weaver. And he steps off. Jay Langoliers started out in the Braves organization, got traded to Oakland on the Matt Olson deal, and he has blossomed into a star. Both teams got what they wanted in that trade. 2-0 from Weaver. Now that's away, and now it's 3-0. Walk would load him up for Tyler Soderstrom, who's already homered in this game. There's nobody up behind Weaver in the Mets bullpen. This is his inning to negotiate.
And Soderstrom's a lefty, too.
20 pitches deep into this inning. And Langoliers takes a strike on the outer edge, 3-1. Weaver coming off a rough outing his last time out behind Nolan McLean. Trying to pitch a clean inning today. Langoliers hits it sharply through the hole, a base hit. Clark around third. He'll come in to score. And the A's have an insurance run. Shea Langoliers irrepressible in Flushing. An RBI single to make it 8-6 A's.
That's some clutch hitting right there. And that was a decent pitch. It was a sinker, Ron, or was it something off speed?
That was change.
And it was down and in, and he went down and got it. Did it have enough? Yeah, it's a changeup. Too much plate.
Remember, he hit the ghost fork off Senga earlier down the line, so he stays on that breaking pitch pretty good, or changeup, ghost fork.
So now Soderstrom, who has a 2-run homer and a single today, and he swings and misses at a high fastball. Soderstrom's home run was his first of the year. 2-run shot against Senga in the 3rd. Later in that inning, Cortez had a 3-run homer, and Senga was done after 2 1/3. And he hits this one deep to right field. Forget that. That's going to sail way out of here. A 3-run homer for Tyler Soderstrom to put the A's back in charge. It's now 11-6. Soderstrom with a 2-home run, 5 RBI day, and he crushed that.
fastball, I believe, and he just had a very quick bat. Yes, sir. Boom.
This one in the City Pavilion.
Yeah, he got that one. You just heard the crack of the bat. You knew he got it.
For Tyler Soderstrom, his 5th career multiple home run game. So a game that was looking very much like it was tilted back in the Mets' favor after they cut a 7-1 deficit to a single run. The A's have reestablished themselves with a 5-run lead, scoring 4 runs against Weaver here in the 8th. And for Weaver, a 2nd straight difficult outing.
We'll watch him hit it out in front. Inner half.
Each team has hit 3 home runs today. Wilson hits one on the right side. Beautiful pickup by Semien, and he throws him out to end the inning. But not before the A's score 4 in the 8th. Soderstrom with a 3-run bomb to make it 11-6. Beautiful day to be out on the water. Not a good day to be a pitcher here at Citi Field. 17 runs, 6 home runs.
Yeah, the wind. This is the first day the ball has been carrying.
Mark Leiter Jr. in for the 2nd straight day. Pitched a scoreless inning last night. Brett Beatty, first man to face him, swings over the sinker, 0-1.
You'll see a fastball, split finger, and a curveball from Mark Leiter Jr.
Beatty hit a sac fly as a pinch hitter in the 6th, stayed in the game in right field. And he fouls back the fastball, and it's 0-2. The Mets had not given up more than 7 runs in any game this year. They've been tagged for 11 this afternoon. Senga gave up 7. Weaver gave up 4. In between, the Mets got great relief from Brazoban, Raley, and Kimbrel as they tried to catch up. But now the task made much more difficult. Luis Garcia getting ready for the top of the 9th.
Or you come back, and that's kind of a backbreaker. This late in the game, it's a backbreaker.
Francisco Lindor on deck, and then Luis Robert for the Mets in the 8th. And then Beatty goes down on the splitter, and that's the first out in the 8th. Lindor is 1 for 4 today and a base hit and scored a run in the 5th. Flat out to the warning track and left his last time up. And Francisco takes away 2-0. You know who's pitching great right now? Michael Wacha. 8 scoreless innings today for the Royals. 2-0, 0.43 ERA through 3 starts. They beat the White Sox today 2-0.
Have you looked at his numbers since he left the Mets? It really was the Mets is where he kind of regrouped and retooled how he was going to pitch in the future, and he's been great ever since then.
The Kansas City team is going to compete.
Yes, they are.
In that AL Central. They've got good young talent, and they've got some very strong pitching.
And they have a shortstop for the ages.
Well, but the guy next to him, Garcias, he's turned into a star.
He's really good.
Timeout called by Lindor.
They made some subtly nice changes, too, in the offseason. Salvador Perez, I mean, he just keeps going.
Due to Lindor. Splitter misses away. Full count. Luis Robert on deck. Jacob Lopez went the first 5 innings plus for the A's. 5 runs, 7 hits, but he's pitcher of record on the long side. Joel Kuhnel pitched a scoreless inning. Justin Sterner gave up 1 run in the 7th. And now Leiter strikes out Lindor with a splitter. Back-to-back strikeouts for Leiter Jr. 2 out. Has any family had more pitchers in the big leagues than the Leiters?
I mean, amazing.
Al and his son Jack, Mark and his son Mark.
I mean, it should be a novel at some point. Some kind of Tom's River and the Leiters.
Well, Mark's uncle Al is in the Mets Hall of Fame. Luis Robert takes curveball for a strike. Robert's 1 for 3 and a walk today. This feels like all the air came out of the balloon.
Well, yeah.
Soderstrom hit that home run. And Robert pops one straight up. Langoliers watches it land in the front row.
I mean, before Soderstrom hit that, you really felt like there's no way the Mets are not coming back. That's how it felt.
Momentum is a funny thing in this sport.
Jumps quickly, doesn't it?
It's just like you fight back to get in the game, and it's this like a harpoon. Just takes all the steam out of you.
Half swing, and he went around strike 3.
Wow.
So Leiter strikes out the side in the bottom of the 8th. Tyler Soderstrom probably admiring his 2 home runs on the iPad.
Well, what a day for him. That was 2
hanging
bombs.
breaking ball.
And you think he did better here. This was a quick inside bat. That's the backbreaker right there, the 3-run shot.
2 home run, 5 RBI day for Soderstrom. Luis Garcia will pitch the top of the 9th. Jeff McNeil already has 3 hits today.
Well, Luis hasn't really figured it out yet. He's really been struggling with his command, so he's gotten into a lot of hitters' counts, and that's why the numbers are high right now.
He looked fabulous in spring training. He was doing that.
Yeah. Well,
Splitter and the sinker, and he was getting ground balls.
You know, it's interesting. You always talk about hitters that get off the slow starts. Pitchers sometimes are like that as well.
Tap to the left side. The shed ranging to his left. Low throw, and Vientos able to scoop it out nicely for the first out. Nicely done on both ends. 1 away.
Bichette ranging to his left and throwing on the run. A tough throw when you're look how he played the sinker, because you got to throw sidearm. Well done. Nice scoop.
So 1 out and nobody on now. Max Muncy, who's 1 for 4 today, struck out in his other 3 at bats. Nets led 1-0. They trailed 7-1, got back to 7-6 before the A's scored 4 in the 8th. In the bottom of the 9th, the Mets will have their 3, 4, and 5 hitters due up. Polanco, Bichette, and Vientos. Luis Medina looks like he's going to get the 9th with a non-save situation. They'll save Hogan Harris, their closer, for tomorrow. Line the other way, a base hit for Muncy, his 2nd hit of the day.
Nice swinging right there. Mets got an offense. They got some guys that swing the bat.
Full boat today for Muncy. 3 strikeouts and 2 hits.
That one on an 0-2 pitch. In fact, both his hits today have come on 0-2.
Boy, he went with that pitch beautifully.
It's 15 hits now for the A's. And here's Carlos Cortez, whose 3-run homer in the 3rd knocked Kodai Senga out of the game. Senga went just 2 1/3 today, allowed 7 runs and 8 hits. He had never given up more than 5 earned runs in a game before, but 7 today. And the Cortez 3-run homer was the first one that Senga had ever allowed in the major leagues. All the home runs against him had been solo shots or 2-run homers.
Wow.
You know, I was just thinking, if the A's can hang on to this game and win, back in the day, Tyler Soderstrom would be go over to Kiner's corner and get a $100 bill.
You know, Keith, $100 just isn't what it used to be for these ball players.
Well.
I read today that the average salary this year in the big leagues is over $5 million.
I still have a visual the first time I went on that show when I was a young player. Meeting Ralph, and how I still have a visual of him slipping me the $100 bill. I still remember it. And it was a studio, had the lights.
Oh.
It was next to the Mets dugout.
The world's smallest studio.
Yeah. So you were an opposing player. You had to walk all the way around from the third base side behind the stadium to get to Ralph for the Kiner's corner.
It had the bad wood paneling.
Very similar to the Merv Griffin set that Kramer had in his apartment. And my next guest.
What was the late night show in New York? Franklin.
Joe Franklin.
It was kind of like that set.
Oh, he was on like at 2 a.m. for 50 years. He would have the most offbeat people on that show. And he spoke in a nasally monotone. It was a remarkable feat of longevity. Seventh pitch of the at bat coming to Cortez. Hey, Honda Sports Night's going to come your way tonight at 11 o'clock. Get you ready for Freddie Peralta's start tomorrow. Is it already the regular season finale in the NBA?
Really? All right.
The season will be over by July. And then they start again the next month. Swinging a ground ball right in front of the plate. Alvarez throws out Cortez. Muncy was running on the pitch, and Cortez hit it about 6 inches for the second out.
If that.
Did you get the exit velocity on that?
Oh, in our day, guys on the bench would say, "Grown man just hit that ball."
Oh, wait, right. Kill some worms.
.5 miles per hour on the exit velocity. Here's Denzel Clark, who's 1 for 3 today. Also had a bases loaded walk, and he checks the swing on that sinker and fouls it. 0-1. Muncy at second with 2 out. And Garcia spins that one outside. No swing. A ball and a strike. Garcia's last outing came in that same game where Weaver struggled in back of McLean. He gave up 3 runs in a third of an inning in the game on Thursday night.
Oh, good breaking ball.
Oh, there you go.
There it is.
There's Ronnie with Ralph Kiner and the wood paneling.
Look at it.
Now were those real books?
Yeah, they were real books, and you didn't even give you a seat. You're just sitting on the desk.
It's like Ralph's little library of office.
It's a lot of ice.
Well.
I mean, pitchers don't even ice anymore, do they?
I don't think they do. No, that was common practice then. Must have had a forearm thing because I have a lot of ice on the front of my forearm, so I must have had a little owie in the day. I bet you one of those trophies opened up and might have had some fun stuff in it.
Think? Swing and a miss. Garcia strikes out Clark to end the top of the 9th. Last licks for the Mets, down by 5. We go to the last of the 9th. Mets in danger of their 4th consecutive loss, in danger of falling below 500 for the season. Luis Medina will try and get the final 3 outs.
Missed all of last season with Tommy John surgery, but made the opening day roster for the A's. Did Medina?
Very hard thrower. Jorge Polanco first man up. And he takes 97 downstairs for ball 1. Polanco got the Mets within a run with his first home run as a Met in the 7th inning. Turned 7-1 all the way to 7-6 before the A's added on.
Well, Polanco got his first home run here. Slider, and he just got the barrel out.
Just had enough to tuck it into that right field corner. Mets have hit 3 home runs today. I think they've cleared the fence by a grand total of about 6 inches. They all count. The wall scrapers as well as the 500-foot blasts. 2 balls and a strike to Polanco with Bichette and Vientos to follow. Quite an outing for Mark Leiter Jr., who struck out the side in the 8th. And now Medina trying to close it out. And a chopper to the right side. McNeil hurries in. Polanco not running hard on that sore Achilles, and that's the first out. Medina, when he came up with the A's, was a starter. Started 17 games in 23 and then 8 more in 24 before he got hurt. Now remaking himself as a reliever, his 4th appearance out of the bullpen.
Well, he's got a live arm.
Bo Bichette's had a perfect day at the plate. Single, homer, 2 walks, 3 RBIs. When you're not going well and you're in a losing streak, sometimes the games can look different, but the results are the same. Mets were shut out yesterday. Today they've hit 3 home runs. They've scored 6 runs, and pitching let them down. What do you call that?
Egg and ham. Ham and egg is when your pitching pitches well, you win. But when they don't, you score a lot of runs. They're on the other side of it now.
So they have to switch to bacon?
Gary.
Pork roll?
Oh, I'm not a pork roll fan. Links or patties?
Jelly roll.
Bichette down on strikes. And the Mets are down to their final out of the day. Day game tomorrow, 1:40 first pitch. Mets will have Freddie Peralta to try and stem the tide against Aaron Savali before the Mets head out to take on the 2-time defending World Series champions Monday night in L.A. Vientos got 0 for 4 today, 0 for 14 on the homestand. And Mark takes fastball away at 99 from Medina. Looks like that elbow is healthy.
Wow.
And a little chopper out in front of the plate. Langoliers pounces on it, and that's how this one ends. Senga got battered early. The Mets hit 3 home runs to get within a run, but the A's tacking on in the 8th, and they hand the Mets their 4th straight loss, 11-6.
Well, it was a game where the Mets got it to within 1. They pecked away, but the 4-run 8th, and that's been a big thing so far this year, is the big inning for against the Mets that have really hurt them. But Soderstrom, he'll be in Kiner's corner later. He had a big day, 5 RBIs and 2 home runs.
Well, the highlight for the pitching for the Mets were the 3 relievers, Brazoban, Raley, and Kimbrel, who kept it close.
Rough day for Kodai Senga. Most runs he's ever allowed in a game. First 3-run homer he's ever allowed. Tyler Soderstrom had the big day for the A's, as they have now won 4 in a row to get to 500. The Mets fall below 500 with the loss. New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by Hyundai. Test drive a new Hyundai today, only at your local Hyundai dealer. By Windorama, your home, your team. Upgrade your home today. By Heineken, proud partner of the New York Mets. Enjoy Heineken responsibly. And by Toyota Deer Spring. Toyota's adrenaline pumping lineup is ready for you. Toyota, Let's go places. Final score today, the A's 11, the Mets 6. Final game of the series in the homestand tomorrow with Freddie Peralta on the mound against Aaron Savali. First pitch at 1:40. Our coverage begins at 1 o'clock tomorrow right here on SNY. Now for Keith Hernandez, Ron Darling, Steve Gelbs, and our entire SNY crew, I'm Gary Cohen at Citi Field. Time for Mercedes-Benz Postgame Live. Let's join Gary Apple and Jerry Blevins in the studio. Gentlemen.